This is a News Center 6 special report. Renaissance Along the Riverfront. The grand opening of Riverwalk. Now, here are your hosts for the next hour, Alec Gifford and Lynn Gansar, live at Spanish Plaza.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Riverwalk. The sounds you hear behind us are the gospel soul children. They were just singing a moment ago down by the riverside.
That's where we are, down by the riverside at Riverwalk for the grand opening ceremonies. And folks, I want you to know Lynn Gansar's ready with it. Just a minute ago, this was the gospel soul children snapping those fingers.
I love that music.
Hey,
so does everyone else down here. We've got a tremendous crowd.
Don't we, though? It's kind of like we were saying, it's kind of like a combination. I feel like it's sort of like Mardi Gras, a little bit like the World's Fair Open, and maybe some of the pre-game parties at the Super Bowl. I mean, it's a real party going on here, and so far, we've been lucky with the weather, but it's just getting a little sprinkle.
A couple little raindrops, but no problem. You just heard the horns on the river. They're getting ready for the grand opening ceremonies that will get underway in just about 2 minutes.
And you're going to see every bit of it from every angle imaginable here on News Center 6. We have cameras. Well, we have cameras all over the place, including you'll get pictures in the air from the Sky 6 helicopter, which has been hovering over this area throughout the morning. We'll be seeing that throughout this hour.
Just in case you haven't been around for the last week, we've been talking so much about Riverwalk. Riverwalk is a new retail shopping festival marketplace, they like to call it. They do not call it a mall. And the people who come here are not referred to as customers. They are visitors, and this is a festival. There will be entertainment here every day. There are 130 retailers already here at the Riverwalk, and the Rouse company that owns the Riverwalk and has put this together has a capacity to accommodate 200 retailers, many of them national figures, Abercrombie & Fitch, Banana Republic, so many you've already heard of.
And one of the things I just heard that fanfare from the Southern University Color Guard, which is there on the stand, and in just a moment, Matt DeVito, who is the head of the Rouse Corporation, of which this development is part of it, will be welcoming the crowd. I think that, in fact, that may be happening just about right now. And anyway, we are at the opening ceremonies of Riverwalk, and this could be, people are hoping this could be the moment when New Orleans is turning a corner economically into a better era. Let us hope so.
Optimistic calculations are that retail sales could amount to $60 million a year. That remains to be seen.
Well, let's go to the podium because I think it's all about to start. Folks, Riverwalk is about to become a reality.
There you see is Kenneth Mack. Kenneth Mack is a teenager from Natchitoches, and you might remember that face. He's going to sing the Star-Spangled Banner. He sang for the Statue of Liberty celebration in New York just last month.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched
Kenneth Mack, an incredible kid with an incredible voice.
He really does, and we're underway now with the singing of the Star-Spangled Banner, the national anthem. Matt DeVito is about to take the podium and welcome all the people here to the pride of his heart, I know, and of the Rouse Corporation, the Riverwalk development in New Orleans, the newest of the Rouse Corporation projects.
Matthias DeVito, or Matt DeVito, is the chairman of the board, chief executive officer, and president of the Rouse Corporation, and he has been credited with many, many wonderful Rouse projects, Harbor Place in Baltimore, Faneuil Hall in Boston, and now the Riverwalk in New Orleans. Let's go to Matthias DeVito.
Perhaps some of you will remember that the young man who just did such an extraordinary job singing the national anthem was the same young man who sang the anthem in New York City during the 4th of July Statue of Liberty celebration. I'm sure you're all very proud that he's from the state of Louisiana. Today is Riverwalk's grand opening celebration. The buildings, shops, restaurants, the Spanish Plaza, and the beautiful riverfront. As I stand here today, I can feel the sense of pride that you must have in your city and the progress it has made. We believe that the time is right for Riverwalk and for all the programs and projects now underway. The convention center is built, the hotels are in place. There has been a major financial investment in attracting more visitors to New Orleans. And the Mississippi waterfront is now once again an important part of the life and culture of New Orleans. We at the Rouse Company are very proud to be a part of what has already been accomplished and look forward with all of you to a very exciting future for the city of New Orleans. We are also celebrating today one of the most vivid examples of public and private partnership and cooperation anywhere in America. Riverwalk is a testament to the collective efforts of many fine people and organizations in the city of New Orleans and the state of Louisiana. Many of those who were instrumental in this development are seated with me here, and I would like to introduce them to you. Please hold your applause until I finish the introductions. Joseph Piccolomini, Vice President and General Manager of Riverwalk. Dana Nottingham, Vice President of Rouse New Orleans, Inc. Lawrence Eustace III, President, World Trade Center of New Orleans. Lester Kabikoff, Managing Partner, International River Center. Ray Liuzza, President, Board of New Orleans Exhibition Hall Authority. Charles Teamer, President, Board of Commissioners of the Port of New Orleans. Thomas Short, Executive Director, the Mississippi River Bridge Authority. Peggy Wilson, Member of the City Council. Dorothy May Taylor, Member of the City Council. Michael Early, Member of the City Council. James Singleton, Member of the City Council, and most importantly for the Riverwalk District. Ernest Dutch Morial, former Mayor of New Orleans. And it was Dutch who spearheaded the very beginning of Riverwalk. We've had a lot of discussions about it over the years, and I want to thank you for being here and for Riverwalk. Now, please join me now for a warm round of applause for all of these wonderful people. Sidney Bartholomew, Mayor of New Orleans, came into office this year as a very knowledgeable and forceful advocate for the development of Riverwalk. His experience on the City Council, when Riverwalk was merely a dream, gave us an extra push of support when he became mayor. Mayor Bartholomew has always been there to help us when we needed to resolve critical issues with the city. Without this kind of support and assistance, and long-range vision for the city of New Orleans, we would not be celebrating here today. I give you your mayor, the mayor of the city of New Orleans, Mayor Bartholomew.
Thank you very much, Matt. Mr. DeVito, other honored guests of the dais, my fellow New Orleanians, this is truly a great day for the city of New Orleans. I predict that with the new Riverwalk and the Rouse development, that we're in for a new beginning of great development and great economic well-being in the city of New Orleans. I want to thank Rouse and Matt DeVito, their chairman, for this beautiful development and for giving us an opportunity to have a great relationship with our beautiful Mississippi River. I told Matt that I have seen several of their developments, and I believe that this development will prove to be their greatest development in this country, because no other development has a half a mile of river to see, nor is any other development located on such an active and vibrant river. We're all in for an exciting time when we walk through the Rouse Riverwalk. I want to congratulate you, the citizens of New Orleans, for the support that you have given all of us for doing this great event. Dutch Morial, the former mayor, was very instrumental in encouraging Rouse to do this project, and he deserves a lot of credit and thanks for his efforts. And of course, our city council and the dock board all cooperated in giving a little so that we could get a lot. We all should be happy today. We all should be positive, and we all should feel confident that this Riverwalk is the beginning of a new day in New Orleans. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We'll try to live up to those wonderful words of praise. Now it's time to mark the grand opening of Riverwalk. Would all of you please join me up here? And on the count of 3, we will begin. Please join in with us. 1, 2, 3.
Big balloon release. The balloons are now in the air.
And the pigeon release. They're telling us 80 balloons, 5 feet tall. You hear the horns on the river. There's confetti flying all over.
It is being fired from special confetti guns, and it is coming down, thank goodness, instead of rain. The boats on the river, the horns going off, the great salute.
They turned on the Spanish Plaza fountain, spraying water.
I think they turned on the audience, too, for the next few minutes. For the next 5 days, this is going to be going on. This is the opening round in the opening ceremonies for the Rouse Development's Riverwalk project.
It actually began last night with a glitzy preview gala, which was a fundraiser for many local charities. Thousands of people showed up at $75 a head. You were there, you saw all the activity, as well as an American Film Institute honoring, among others, John Travolta.
Who was signing autographs to people who paid $250 apiece for the privilege of doing so aboard that boat, eating some great food that was catered for them by Churchill Catering. And there are the crowds who are really swarming all over Spanish Plaza, Lynn.
the Gospel Soul Children, the Southern University Band performing. We should mention that the Riverwalk is free. And the corporate people at Riverwalk said to the doomsayers that, well, World's Fair didn't work, they said, well, this is very different. This is free admission. All of the people here from here on forever will be admitted free to the Riverwalk. There will be performers every day. There will be movies every Friday night. You can see the thousands of people. It's a floating cinema.
Yeah, they're going to take a barge out in the river, put a giant screen on it. You can watch movies.
A 22-foot screen, that's correct. And, of course, all of the movies will relate to the waterfront. There will be Marlon Brando on the waterfront, and the African Queen, and Yellow Submarine with the Beatles. It will be a 10-week special program beginning this Friday.
And the original Showboat movie will also be shown out there in the river. And that's one of the things the American Film Institute has been instrumental in preserving, movies like that. John Travolta says, gee, I hope they save some of my old movies.
And don't forget the cartoon classics, Bugs Bunny and Mr. Magoo. And we will be back with much more of this Riverwalk celebration, Renaissance on the Riverfront, right after this.
Receiving her bachelor's degree.
Because we at Photo World understand the value of life's little treasures. There's a Photo World in a mall near you. Beautiful pictures in 1 hour while you shop.
Photo World does it for you.
This cake was made with eggs, but has no cholesterol.
What?
This French toast was made with eggs, but has no cholesterol.
What?
Even this omelet has no cholesterol.
What?
Because they're all made with Fleischmann's Egg Beaters. Egg Beaters is 99% real eggs and 0% cholesterol. So cook your family's favorite recipes with eggs from our carton and see if you can tell the difference. Egg Beaters, 99% real eggs, 0% cholesterol.
What?
Did you know that Valencia oranges are the best, most expensive juice oranges in the whole world? Florida Gold orange juice is the only one that's just Valencia. Did you know that the juice at your house is made with all kinds of oranges? If your mom knew what my mom knew, she'd buy Florida Gold too. I like an intelligent woman.
Florida Gold brand orange juice. It's not a blend of all kinds of oranges. It's pure Valencia.
I'll show you how to do the Riverwalk. Step, turn, dip, hop. You're doing the Riverwalk. 2 hops forward, 2 hops back. Do the bump, itch, chicken scratch. Step to your partner, let your arms flap, and stroll down the river.
Go down the river.
Shop on the river.
Shop on the river.
Dine on the river, looking fine, doing the Riverwalk.
Welcome back to the Riverwalk celebration where confetti is still falling from the sky. You saw that commercial just a moment ago. Those are the Riverwalk performers. We're taking you inside the mall right now. The Riverwalk performers will be putting on 4 shows every day, and they will also teach the little dance that they were just doing, which is called the Riverwalk Shuffle. And visitors who come to the Riverwalk are encouraged to learn the shuffle and really participate.
I am delighted to see the Riverwalk was buying time on our program. Wonderful. They must be a nice, healthy corporation. Boy, what a crowd we have out here, and what fun this is right now. This is a real party going on here, Lynn. I mean, these people are having a good time out here, and it's a big free show. You know, much of what the Riverwalk is all about was once the New Orleans World's Fair. But what it is really about is the tale now, and the reporter about to hear from Phil Yeager.
The Riverwalk is comprised of 6 areas. The first one you already know, although it does look a little bit different these days. It's Spanish Plaza, where the main entrance is located.
And this is a place where you can come, sit down on some benches, watch the ships roll by, enjoy the fountain, enjoy a fruit juice bar, just people watch.
From the plaza, we enter the lower Poydras Wharf area where the major retail stores are.
Shops such as Abercrombie and Fitch, Banana Republic, Brookstone, DeVille Books, the Brass Lion, the Loom Room. So there's a mixture of national and local shops in that area.
And then it's on to the Colonnade Market.
Colonnade Market is where you experience food with all your senses. You see it, you smell it, you touch it, you eat it, and you also hear it. You hear the coffee beans being ground. The Colonnade Market area is a place where you might pick up some fresh pasta and take it home. You might pick up other packaged food and take home. You wouldn't necessarily sit down there and enjoy your food because there's limited seating there. But you will see Whole Food Company with its wine bar, its German bakery, its deli, its produce area. You'll see Cafe du Monde, Evans Candy. There's a number of local businesses in this area.
Upstairs is the Levee Market.
The Levee Market is an incubator area for small businesses. It's where you'll find regional crafts and collectibles. They'll be in stalls or on push carts. Now, this is generally a place for the first-time entrepreneur, somebody trying out a new idea. You'll find a couple of places there called From Germany with Love. Also, the Fudgery is there and the Kite Loft.
Then it's on up the escalator to the Riverview shops and the lighter's side.
So you might find hats at Reen Chapeau or magic items at Magic Masters.
Then the payoff for a hungry shopper, Bonne Fête.
In a Bonne Fête, you'll find regional or ethnic food.
Restaurants, shops, all told over 100 businesses of all types and price ranges. I'd tell you more, but we've run out of areas. And besides, I have something important to take care of right here.
Oh, yeah. I was here last night. All of the cooks, all of the kids that are behind the counter making the fudge sing great little songs, 1950s, 1960s songs. Any song they can stick the word fudge in. It's a lot of entertainment here.
By the way, have you noticed that once a party like this gets going, it's kind of hard to stop. This party has developed a momentum of its own. The band is playing back there. And
the Gospel Soul Children.
Oh, my goodness.
Fabulous.
People are really having fun here. We're going to be back in just a minute to talk with Matt DeVito, the chairman of the Rouse Corporation, is with us. Back in just a moment.
Hello, neighbor. Come on in and meet the friendly folks of your neighborhood Sunbasket Supermarket. We're here 7 days a week with the crispest produce, the finest choice beef, and fresh bakery products hot from our ovens. This week, you can see the largest Coke display in Louisiana's history. While you're here, register to win this 12-foot speedboat and take advantage of all of our sensational prices during our Labor Day Super Sale. Like this week's sensational Super Saver Special, your favorite Coke products in 12-ounce cans. Sunbasket, where the sun never sets on savings.
It's First Professional Auto Leasing to lease any car or buy your next great used car. And now, here's Joey.
81 Oldsmobile Toronado, $37.95. 85 Chevrolet S10, 8,800 miles, $45.95. Economy, dependability, 84 Toyota Tercel, $45.95. Back to school in a sporty Camaro, $75.95, $36.95. Take your pick.
For quality in cars, it's First Professional Auto Leasing, 2913 North Causeway, Metairie.
Australia is a continent of strange animals, the magnificent outback, and the Great Barrier Reef. And this September, you can experience it all.
Hi, I'm Bob Krieger. The Audubon Zoo's World Travel Program is going to Australia and New Zealand for 20 days beginning in late September. I'll be covering it for News Center 6 and would like you to come along with us. So won't you join us in the land down under?
Call the Audubon Zoo at 861-2537 for more information.
Parents, do your children know who to call in case of an emergency? Well, WDSU-TV 6, along with Coca-Cola and Kmart, have good news for you. It's called the Telephoto Phone Book. It's a children's emergency phone book that will help teach your child who to call and what to say in case of an emergency. It's also a fun book that they can color in and write about themselves. There's even a section for your children's fingerprints, which will help locate your child if missing. The best news is the books are free at all Kmart stores.
We're back live at the Riverwalk, and I have a question. Why is this man smiling? Because his name is Matt DeVito. He's chairman of the Rouse Corporation, and boy, what a celebration you have here.
Isn't it terrific? We're really enjoying it. It's a great day for us. We worked very long and hard for this day, and it's just wonderful.
You know, there are so many people who have said a project like this won't work in New Orleans. You know as well as everyone knows that New Orleans and the state of Louisiana are going through very hard times, very depressed economy. What makes you think that, number one, this Rouse development will work? And what kind of impact do you think it will actually have on the city?
Well, let me answer the last first. I think it's going to have a big impact on the city. You know, this is really the first project that gives people access to the water for a half a mile. The project is a half a mile on the water. And when you go through it, you'll see that there are many opportunities to just stroll, to shop, to eat along the water's edge. And I think it's going to be very unusual. I think people are going to bring their families, their friends, their relatives here. And I think it's going to be meaningful for them. But I think it's going to become a major tourist attraction in the United States. I think it's going to add to New Orleans' great draw as a place for conventions and tourism. And we're really looking for that to be a very important part of the economic structure of Riverwalk.
You know, I was thinking about the situation you had in Baltimore, Maryland, where you put up the Harbor Place development. Having spent just a little bit of time in Baltimore one time, I know that area. You wouldn't dare go down there at night in the areas before you came along with your place. And that's the sort of thing you're trying to do, is to redevelop areas.
Major changes made in Baltimore as a result of that project, and the Baltimoreans are just thrilled with it. And we had the same questions then. There were some economic problems in Baltimore then, but we surmounted them, and now Baltimore is booming. Economic difficulties in a region like this are transitory. We shouldn't look at it as being a long-term thing, and we're here for the very long haul.
Who is going to enjoy Riverwalk? Let's talk about Baltimore, for example. When it was going through its tough economic times, were the people of Baltimore coming down and spending money at Harbor Place, or were you relying on the tourists? Will New Orleans at this point have to rely on tourists?
We were relying on the people of Baltimore to come there for recreation. This is not a shopping center. This is an entertainment, specialty recreation place. And we are looking for the people of New Orleans to come as we did for the people of Baltimore. But we expect more tourists here than we did in Baltimore because New Orleans is a tourist city. And it's going to be important to tourism.
Number one question for locals, what about parking and access?
There are 1,000 spaces very close by, parking spaces, 8,000 in the region. They'll be able to park their cars.
And that's a big drawing point, too, because there are a lot of areas around the road where, of course, that is just absolutely impossible.
Yes, that won't be a problem.
Now, your occupancy is what? You have about 130 retailers right now?
We have 80% occupied today, and by the end of the year, we should be fully occupied.
Seems like it would be a pretty great risk for these people knowing the economy in New Orleans. Did Rouse have to almost give some of the space?
No, we did not. We did very well in our rents. We have 50% of the merchants are from New Orleans, expanding here. And we have first-time national tenants like the Sharper Image, Abercrombie & Fitch, Brookstone, Banana Republic. These are national chains. They know demographics and economies as well as we do. And they're here paying adequate rent.
So they have faith in New Orleans.
Absolutely.
You know, an awful lot of people have been very concerned about the tourist business in New Orleans. Tourism, of course, is our major industry in the whole state of Louisiana. And I think they're looking to see if this can't perhaps turn things around in that direction.
I think it'll help. I think it'll help tremendously. It'll add to all the already wonderful things to see in New Orleans.
Mr. DeVito, are you bullish on what's about to happen to America as a whole in the economy? We've been in a very big slump in this country recently, and especially here in Louisiana.
I think you see it as a slump because you're in Louisiana, but I think I'm very bullish about the long-term economy in this country. And I'm also bullish about the long-term economy in New Orleans. Because in Boston 10 years ago, it was the Rust Belt. It was everybody said it was going to go into a great decline, and today it's a booming place. So hold on, it's going to be here again.
Today the Riverwalk has so much to offer. What can we expect somewhere down the line with this property?
In this property, I don't know. I'm just
exhausted from this right now.
Well, congratulations. It
Thank
looks
you.
like you have a tremendous success.
Let me say one more thing about this match. Speaking of just before we got on the air a moment ago, he's going to be in New Orleans just a little while longer, and then it's back off to vacation.
Right.
Notice you're a little warm right now.
You sure give us a warm welcome here.
A warm welcome, but this man is going to the Adirondacks, where he spent the night a couple of nights ago. What was the temperature then?
42.
Good luck. I hope it's 42 again for you.
Thank you.
Bring some of that weather down here along with us.
Thank
These
you.
big bucks you're bringing in.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. DeVito, Chairman of the Board and Chief Executive Officer of the Rouse Corporation. Now let's go inside the Riverwalk to Bill Yeager.
Wow. People are flowing through here by the thousands. A lot of them, of course, have come here specifically for the opening. Others were here for the parade earlier and just naturally went from there to where the action was. Rouse has been getting ready for a long time, but the first official act today, naturally, in New Orleans, had to be a parade. There were bands and floats and some of those large walking heads. Also, the Shriners were participating. Quite a parade this morning. The St. Aug band was one of the main bands that participated, but there were a whole passel of bands in today's parade, and the whole theme was a Mardi Gras style parade, which led the people here to the Riverwalk. Right now, we're inside the Riverwalk. We're in the area called the Lower Fortress Wharf area, and with me is a man from the Gap. This is Tom Hall, your district manager with them,
District
right?
manager for the Gap, correct.
Okay. Tell me your reaction to this setup here.
Well, the festivities this morning obviously are a very festive Mardi Gras type atmosphere. The people are just unbelievable that are in the center so far. It's phenomenal. It's very exciting for us at the Gap. We have 5 other locations in the city. This is going to be one of the best openings we've ever experienced.
Why are you here? Why did you decide to come in here?
Well, the Rouse Company always puts on a very, very good center. Always has the festival-type atmosphere. It's an entertainment for the entire family. And with our other locations in the city, we're doing very well and very happy to add an additional location down in the CBD along with our one on Canal Street, and we're just expecting very good business here.
Well, good luck with it, and thanks for talking to us.
Okay, thank you.
Tom Hall, who is with the Gap, one of the first stores that you see when you come in here to the major retail area. Okay, here's a fellow who wants to be on TV. What are you doing here?
I'm just enjoying the sights, looking at the Riverwalk. It's very, very fun.
Snuck up on you, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're having fun, you said. Okay.
All right.
Look around, enjoy yourself.
I will.
All right, great. Lots of folks coming in the door, and look like they're all enjoying themselves. Here's a lady who wants to be on television.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Who am I talking to?
Dory DeMar,
Look around here at the camera and tell us why you're here.
because I wanted to see what it looked like, and it's beautiful.
Yeah?
It is going.
Okay, have fun. Thanks for talking with us.
I hope
this is a wonderful success. I think it will be.
Buy something. That's what the merchants here would have to say. And Alec and Lynn, we're going to toss it back to you.
A lot of folks are buying things there, aren't they, Lynn? I mean, big crowds inside that place.
There you see the fountain at Spanish Plaza. The Gospel Soul Children are still singing. We were commenting on how warm it is, but actually there's a very nice cool breeze coming off the river. I know you, who are familiar with New Orleans weather in the summer, don't believe that, but there really is a breeze.
And there is no rain.
No rain.
The only thing that's falling on our head is confetti. We'll be back in just a minute with more live from the grand opening ceremonies of the Riverwalk.
175 grandfather clocks await your selection, priced from $499. At Alpine Clock and Jewelry, 3100 Kingman Metairie. Alpine, house of 1,000 clocks.
This summer, get a little something extra with pizzas from Pizza Hut. It's the new Center 6 Hurricane Tracking Map, prepared by Dan Milham. TV6 has filled this year's map with everything you need to prepare for the storm season. So ask for your map with delivery or stop by any Pizza Hut restaurant. Free from TV6 and Pizza Hut.
How can you look as lovely as Marilyn Monroe?
Here's how. In this week's Picture Week.
Marilyn Mania is back, and not just for models and Madonna. Quick and useful news, health, entertainment, money, lifestyle. Why is the Cocker Spaniel our top dog?
Here's why in New Picture Week.
How are women fighting their way to fitness?
Here's how in Picture Week.
Will birth control ever be risk-free? Where is all this and more?
Here's where in this week's Picture Week.
Have we got news for you?
How do they do it all for 79 cents?
Louisiana farmers need a friend in Washington. As a farmer, as an individual, and as a leader of a statewide farm organization, I've worked with Henson Moore, and I know that when the issues get tough, Henson Moore rolls up his sleeves and goes to work. He does not follow party lines, nor does he do what's popular. He does what's right for agriculture. We owe it to ourselves as farmers to elect Henson Moore to the United States Senate.
Henson Moore, for the farmers of Louisiana.
We are back live at our Riverwalk opening ceremonies, and guess what just came out? The sun.
The sun. And so that means that the breeze isn't quite, well now, just as I say that, the hair is starting to blow. But Margaret Orr was right yesterday. She said there was about a 50-50 chance of rain, and we did see a little sprinkle of drops here and there this morning. But believe me, Margaret, the sun is shining beautifully.
I am delighted to hear that, Lynn. And the good news is that I think for the rest of the afternoon, you're going to have some nice weather for the grand opening of the Riverwalk. There are some showers, but they're mostly to the south of the city, occurring just across St. Bernard Parish over along the Mississippi Gulf Coast. They are pushing southeastward at 10 miles per hour. I'd say a 30% chance of rain for this afternoon, but I have a good feeling that the sun is going to be at least partly cloudy for this afternoon, and that's just terrific news. Here's our satellite picture from early this morning. We did start off with mostly cloudy skies, 73 over at the airport, 75 at Audubon Zoo. We have had some showers and thunderstorms across southeast Louisiana and southern Mississippi. In Terrytown, they reported 1 1/3 inches. This morning over at Bonneville Lakefront, they reported about 1/2 inch of rain, and that fell in an hour's time. But now the showers are mostly to the south of us and out along the coastal waters. What we have is a cool front that's pushing in our direction, and we got something of a prefrontal trough through southeast Louisiana and southern Mississippi, and that's why we had the showers this morning. That cool front will not necessarily bring us any cooler weather, but it has given us the clouds, it has kept the temperatures down, and it's given us a great day for the grand opening. Outside now, cloudy skies at the airport, 84 degrees there, 82 at Audubon Zoo. In Slidell, 85 degrees. They have had rain at Audubon Zoo, too. The relative humidity, 70%. Barometric pressure is falling. Our winds out of the north at 8. Here is a wide view of our satellite picture with the clouds stretching from Texas on up into the New England states. Record low temperatures this morning all across the Midwest. Temperatures in the 30s and the 40s. It will not be that cool here for a long time. That cool front pushing southeastward. Right now it's up in North Louisiana, but it is expected to push through southeast Louisiana and southern Mississippi sometime tonight. Now what that means for us is that it will possibly dry out just a little bit for tomorrow. It won't feel quite as humid. And the temperatures tomorrow should actually be back to normal, about up to about 90 degrees. But we aren't expecting high temperatures to be in the low 90s for tomorrow. Now, this is our forecast map. The cool front pushing southeastward, high pressure pushing in. And I would expect for tomorrow that we would have partly cloudy skies. For the weekend, partly cloudy skies. Temperatures probably in the low 90s to near 90 degrees, and back to more of a typical summertime regime with temperatures, or rather with that scattered shower activity in the afternoon hours. Out along the coastal waters east of the river, the winds out of the south and southwest at 10 knots. West of the river, winds are variable, but they should become northeasterly by tomorrow. There's a look at our tides running near normal, the range at about 1 foot to 1.5 foot, and the low tides in the afternoon hours. You've missed your best time to go fishing. It was at 7:30 this morning. Mostly cloudy skies, but as Lynn said, the sun is coming out, a high anywhere from 86 to 88 degrees. Lynn, Alec, enjoy the day. It looks terrific out there at the Riverwalk.
We're having a lot of fun, as are thousands of other people who are here. I want to remind you about some more events. As we mentioned earlier, this opening day celebration is actually a 5-day celebration that will last through the Labor Day weekend. This afternoon at 3:30, and also again Saturday at 3:30, there will be a riverboat parade right behind the Riverwalk, and it'll feature the Creole Queen, the Natchez, the Jean Lafitte, the Cotton Blossom, a group of tugboats, and the Navy and Coast Guard vessels. And then also at 10 o'clock every single night through Sunday, there will be a great fireworks display to wrap wrap up the closing of that evening, and they'll close down, clean up, and start again bright and early the next morning. I was here for the fireworks display last night, and it was fantastic, and it really did take me back to the World's Fair.
It really does, doesn't it? We're having 5 days of ceremonies that are going on here. It's going to be quite a time to see. Okay, we'll be back in just a minute with more live from the Riverwalk.
Have you really seen New Orleans lately? Here's what you're missing. The Bounty on the lakefront, where you're served only the freshest seafood, boiled or fried, and the finest sirloin, ribeye, or filet prepared to perfection. The Bounty on the lakefront at West End. From the restaurants to the parks, the night spots to the arts, from the bayous to the zoo, it's all waiting for you. Isn't it time you rediscovered New Orleans?
Every 20 minutes, someone is injured in an auto accident. Not a pleasant thought, but it's the reality of driving. If you've been hurt, you have some serious legal questions worth asking. Who's going to pay your medical bills? What about the other guy's insurance, or lack of it? What if you're missing time from work? Call us for help.
Jack Hofstadt and Associates help people who've been injured in an accident. Call 522-6523. They're in your corner.
Receiving her bachelor's degree in...
Because we at Photo World understand the value of life's little treasures. There's a Photo World in a mall near you. Beautiful pictures in 1 hour while you shop.
Photo World does it for you. Love that word, prosperity. Well, here's the place. You know, prosperity planning starts at your favorite security office, where you sit down with a professional. Figure all the angles: retirement, investment, and interest. Drop into security and find out about the cash manager, a money market account with a great big difference. Security Homestead, where prosperity starts.
We are back at the Riverwalk grand opening celebration. As you can tell, we're on for a special 1-hour edition of News Center 6 at midday. And you know, someone who was noticeably absent from the dais during this afternoon's grand opening ceremonies was Governor Edwards.
Yes, but I don't think we should take that to mean that he was ignoring the ceremony.
No.
He said something he said he had to do in Baton Rouge.
That's correct.
But he was here earlier in the day, and we did get a chance to speak to him. He was here just before the opening of the Riverwalk, just before these official ceremonies this morning. He also took the opportunity, while we were talking with him before the ceremonies began, he took the opportunity to push for his proposals on gambling.
I think that we have much to offer. You know, your local newspaper here keeps harping about how nobody wants to come to Louisiana, but Boeing is coming, Martin Marietta's here, and it's going to expand. The Bartolow's coming. These people have come. LL&E are here and expanding. McMoran, a major oil company, located its corporate offices here. All of this is happening, and I think it's time for us to begin to look at the positive side of things, about what is actually happening, and quit talking about what we don't think is happening.
Any renaissance, of course, takes a long time to turn around hard numbers. You know, we have the unemployment figures and all that sort of thing. When do those numbers actually start looking better, do you think?
It depends on two things. One, the price of oil, which would have to escalate to about $25 a barrel to really have a ripple effect in the general economy. And two, whether or not we can get casino gaming in New Orleans, because the presence of casinos would bring thousands of new visitors, millions of more dollars, and create thousands of additional jobs, which would provide an economic base for facilities such as this, which are good, but they need the people working in order to be able to have the money to spend in these shops and to justify the existence of these facilities. The job base is what is needed, and that's why I'm fighting so hard to try to get casino gaming here, because of the jobs it will create, the money and people that will bring in.
Well, on the subject of creating jobs, the Rouse Corporation's Riverwalk project is said to create about 2,000 jobs here.
But of course, there's no question about that. And of course, a lot of the people who oppose Edmund Edwards on the things that he was saying just then about there needing to be casino gambling point to projects like this and say, this is a better long-term way to bring people to our city. Now, I don't propose to take sides, and I'm just saying those are the two sides of the argument. You hear what Edwin Edwards has to say, and you hear what the businessmen who oppose it have to say.
Now let's hear what Bill Yeager has to say inside the Riverwalk. Bill?
Having spent 6 months of my life here at this location 2 years ago at the World's Fair, this is kind of a nostalgic experience for me. It's also the same for this gentleman here, Jim Brandt, who was with the World's Fair. What's it like to come back here?
It's great. It really is exciting to be back on the site again and to see, I think, one of the very, very positive residual effects of the World's Fair.
Do you always know where you are as you walk through here? I find it very strange to walk down here and tell myself, I know this place, and yet I don't.
Well, actually, it is kind of strange for me as well, although we did spend a great deal of time here. It is slightly reconfigured, and once we get down at the other end, I know my bearings a little bit, but this end wasn't exactly in the fair site, so it is a little strange.
There are walls where there didn't used to be walls. There are no walls where there used to be walls. What do you think of this plan?
Oh, I think we've done a fantastic job. It really has used the site very well, and it opens up the riverfront, and I think they've really done a nice mixture of tenants. So overall, I think it's just a very, very high-quality use of the site.
After a tough 6 months for you at the World's Fair, it's got to feel good to walk in here and say something good came of all that.
Absolutely, and I think the city of New Orleans is going to be very, very pleased with the results of this project and the riverfront, and to see that it was the result of the World's Fair, I think is indeed something we're very proud of.
All right, good. Thank you, Jim. They're motioning us that they got something else they want to talk to. Let's talk it back to Lynn and Alec.
Thank you very much, Bill, and you just saw more entertainment on the Riverwalk. Actually, I think this is quite a party, and if you're at home and you don't have anything else to do, you don't have to pick up kids, carpool, or you finished your chores, come on down. This is a lot of fun.
I tell you, it's really something to see, too. And we're going to talk about what it's all about economically in just a moment when we return to our special one-hour edition of live coverage of the Riverwalk.
Didn't you tell them Mom has Medicare?
Sure, but it won't cover all these bills. You think Medicare pays all the bills? I'm Ed McMahon, and that's a very real part of the Medicare story. Medicare helps, but it's not enough. So if you're age 65 or over, get a pencil and paper ready to take down this important phone number. You see, just one day in the hospital could cost you $492. Then look how your costs can add up. Higher and higher for every day you have to be hospitalized. Could you really afford to pay nearly $19,000 for a very long stay? And you wouldn't want to depend on your children. But there's a better way. Colonial Penn's Medicare Supplement. It pays 100% of all these hospital costs. And when Medicare stops completely, it keeps paying your hospital bills for 365 more days. Plus, it helps pay your doctor and surgical bills, too, in or out of the hospital. And your acceptance is guaranteed. You cannot be turned down. So call now for free information in the mail.
Leave it to Mom. She got Colonial Penn protection years ago.
Oh, what a relief.
Call this number today and get this free Medicare supplement booklet without risk or obligation. Someday, you'll all be glad you did.
Call 1-800-453-2100, and you'll receive the Medicare supplement booklet in the mail that Ed McMahon spoke about. The information is free and the call is free. So call now, 1-800-453-2100, 1-800-453-2100, 1-800-453-2100.
Nothing could be finer than what's happening down here. Live at the Spanish Plaza for the grand opening ceremonies of Riverwalk. A bit on the warm side, but it wasn't on the rainy side. Things are looking good, and it's air-conditioned inside.
That's right. A little while ago, we were talking to Matt DeVito, who's chairman of the board of the Rouse Corporation. He was saying how bullish he is on this project as well as New Orleans. And just to back that up, to put his money where his mouth is, he has taken out a 99-year lease on this piece of property. Rouse is paying for your information, $117,000 to the city of New Orleans just to rent the space behind us, which is the Spanish Plaza. And after about 4 years, the city will also be getting some of the rent from the individual retailers inside the Riverwalk project. That is one side of the good news for the city itself. But again, this is not the first venture that the Rouse Corporation has been in. It has other developments all over the country where there has been some significant economic impact on those cities. Mark Phillips examined what effect the Riverwalk should have on the city of New Orleans.
It's taken 2 years, lots of blood, sweat, and money, $60 million, but it's here. Riverwalk, the Rouse Company's newest festival shopping center, and New Orleans' latest tourist attraction. For many in New Orleans, Riverwalk is more than just another shopping mall. It has come to symbolize the stuff dreams are made of. Those dreams stretch the gamut, from the modest hope for a job to the grandiose vision that this shopping center will bring people back to the river and businesses to the city.
Here's Rouse saying, we're going to go against the tide. We're going to invest in this city, and we think it's going to work. Then we ought to be doing everything that we can to make sure it works so that we can show the rest of this country that New Orleans is a vibrant city. It's an alive city. You can invest in it and watch your investment grow.
I hope that J.B. Rivers hired me today. That's what I came down for. But with all these people, I don't know what my chances are.
I ran through a little over 365 applications to get my 24 employees.
The dream is costing Farrell Christoph $250,000. He's opening a steak shop in Bonfette, the fast food section of Riverwalk. Making sandwiches for a business is a long way from his old job as an executive with Bow Brothers.
I don't think I'm taking a chance at all. I think Rouse is the place to be right now. They have a great track record all over the country.
Christoph is one of a number of local entrepreneurs counting on Rouse to extend its record of success to New Orleans. By the end of the year, 170 shops and restaurants will be open. 2,300 people will be employed. Tenants are counting on 5 million people to visit Riverwalk the first year. Despite the local recession and double-digit unemployment, Rouse officials don't consider that projection to be high. The company has had a history of moving into depressed areas and causing an economic turnaround. To the developer, New Orleans is no different.
People want to see what we can do. They kind of sit back and say, we'll wait and see, and we'll put you to the test. And we feel very confident that we'll be able to bring the kind of people through that we're interested in having here.
But there's been skepticism, and selling Rouse locally was not easy. Many retailers still remember the World's Fair and the promise of big crowds and big money that never materialized. But Peter Roy is not one of the skeptics. He's opened his third Whole Food store in Riverwalk. It's a big investment.
Almost doubled the number of people that we're employing, and if it goes the way we think, it's almost going to double our sales.
Although optimism abounds, the jury on Rouse's success here is still out and will be for some time. On the one hand, there is Rouse's unbridled enthusiasm, and on the other, there is a depressed economy, an ailing downtown retail district, and the largest city in a state whose oil-based economy is in big trouble. It is a big gamble with long-shot odds, but Rouse is rolling the dice. Mark Phillips, News Center 6.
When you want fresh, great-tasting coffee, reach for the one that tastes like it's been roasted right in the bag.
Now that's fresh roasted.
Only CDM roasts and grinds its coffee and even its chicory fresh right here in New Orleans. Other brands use chicory roasted months in advance. So when you're drinking CDM, you're drinking the freshest roasted, freshest tasting coffee and chicory you can buy.
Now that's fresh roasted.
CDM and CDM decaffeinated. Fresh roasted for fresh flavor right here in New Orleans.
With prices like these, you'll know you're in paradise. It's the finest in outdoor furniture now at the lowest prices ever offered during the end of summer sale at Paradise, the pool and patio place. Beautiful furniture and accessories at savings up to 60%, like this famous Meadowcraft group, reduced from $7.99 to only $2.95. Save even more on top quality Brown Jordan, Tropitone, everything in the store. But hurry, because even sales in Paradise don't last forever.
Did you know that Valencia oranges are the best, most expensive juice oranges in the whole world? Florida Gold orange juice is the only one that's just Valencia. Did you know that the juice at your house is made with all kinds of oranges? If your mom knew what my mom knew, she'd buy Florida Gold too. I like an intelligent woman.
Florida Gold brand orange juice. It's not a blend of all kinds of oranges. It's pure Valencia.
She's got the lead on the inside. Carpenter on the outside. Carpenter.
Winning the Olympic gold medal in Los Angeles took years of determination and hard work. But now I've turned my energies to another effort I really believe in, the fight against multiple sclerosis. As chairperson of the National MS Bike Tours, I'd love to have you join us on the MS Bike Tour in your community. If you'd like to ride or help out, call your local MS chapter. A public service announcement from the National Multiple Sclerosis Society.
Welcome back to the grand opening Riverwalk celebration. This is the Renaissance Along the Riverfront. At least that's what everyone is hoping for. The crowds have begun thinning out just a little bit, but Alec, I don't think that they have left Riverwalk. I think they have gone inside into the air conditioning to browse, see what this is all about, perhaps to eat.
Do I hear you mention food? The audience does love to eat, and let me tell you, there are a lot of places inside this building to satisfy that urge, with offerings ranging from gourmet food to fast food to sit down to all kinds of stuff. Let's take a look now at just what Riverwalk offers to satisfy your taste buds. A morning cup of cafe au lait. That's how the day will begin for an awful lot of visitors to the Riverwalk at the Café du Monde, probably the first coffee shop in New Orleans on the river where you can actually see the river. At the sign that says Colonnade, the food begins. And the hungry visitor will find lots of places to eat on the half-mile journey from store to store. Sandwiches are a big item at the Whole Food Company, which actually started serving last night at the pre-opening party. Thank you very much. This is one of the specialties of the Whole Food Company, one of the many good-looking sandwiches they serve in what they call their food theater, just a few doors down from the Café du Monde. Just the thing to fortify you for your journey through Riverwalk. Half a mile may seem like a long way to walk, but it's really not all that bad with these escalators to help you along the way. But be sure you bring comfortable shoes. Now you're looking at one of the fancier places in Riverwalk. This is Pastore's, one of the fine Italian restaurants in New Orleans, and like everything in the Riverwalk, the river is what it's all about. You can see it. It was a busy morning as restaurants like the Sweet Pepper Grill began gearing up for their first full day of business. The Sweet Pepper, with a sweeping view of the river. And this, folks, is Joanne Clemenger, who first burst upon the news in New Orleans some 12 years ago, selling flowers for a pushcart in Jackson Square. May I say, Joanne Clemenger, you've come a long way, baby.
Thank you, Alex. That's very nice. We've come a long way, and we're so delighted and pleased that we're at Rouse Riverwalk. It seems like a miracle. It really does.
Well, I know you've got that good restaurant uptown called the Upper Line Restaurant, and now this restaurant. What's it all about, the Sweet Pepper Grill?
Sweet Pepper Grill is sort of taking what I think of a little bit from the Camilla Grill, a little bit from Mother's, a lot of the Upper Line, and a little bit of California trendy to give us adventure.
Put it all together, and it spells the Sweet Pepper Grill. There's an awful lot to see, and there's an awful lot to eat here at the Riverwalk. It stretches out for quite a long distance beyond you. That's half a mile of good things to see and good things to eat. You'll know where the food is when you see that sign that says Bon Fête.
And there's also a lot to buy, and standing outside one of the big national retailers, Abercrombie & Fitch, is Bill Yeager.
Some visitors from out of town, and some people who should be at the office.
Not so loud. My members say this luck. Then I've had it. Are we live?
Yes,
Oh my
we're
God.
on the air at this very moment. Who am I talking to?
My name is Marty Khatib. This is my brother Charlie Khatib and Donna. They're down from Boston.
Yeah?
And visiting, and since today was opening day, and in fact, I was with the mayor this morning having breakfast.
Yeah, it was great.
And said we were going to all come over here today and for the grand opening.
What do you think of it?
I think it's terrific, and I would tell the people in New Orleans and elsewhere, if they want to see something, they ought to come in. This is it.
All right, what does Boston think?
I think that's great because we have the Quincy Market, same idea as this, and it's fantastic. Really, really great.
Right. Thanks for talking to us.
Okay, Bill.
Great.
We'll be seeing you now.
Okay.
Take care.
And Alec, back to you.
Okay, our time is just about up out here at the grand opening ceremony for Riverwalk. Lynn, I think this opening ceremony cannot be termed anything but just a huge success.
I dare anyone who has been down here to say anything but positive things about this field.
I think that's absolutely right. You know, you can guess as much as you want to about what's going to happen a year from now or 2 years from now. I'd say everything is upbeat here right now, and we just may be on the verge of turning a corner here in New Orleans.
Let's hope so. Thank you for joining us for Renaissance on the Riverfront. And of course, we'll have a wrap-up of today's total events on News Center 6 at 5 and 6 o'clock. But for now, have a great day.
So long, everybody. Thanks for watching.
This has been a News Center 6 special report. Renaissance along the riverfront. The grand opening of Riverwalk.